Welcome aboard, Senator Klobuchar.
Well, thank you, Dean.
We're gonna have a little drive down memory lane.
Yeah, we're going down the memory lane of my roots in Plymouth. Here's my house where I grew up.
Oh, right here?
Yeah, we gotta stop.
Oh, this is
Let's
it.
just say it was a little more 60s looking when I lived there. Yeah, that would be Murder Hill, right?
Why do they call it Murder Hill?
It's so steep. It doesn't look that steep now, but back then. That's where I babysat. At one time, I was about in 7th grade, and Kevin, the 4-year-old, flushed all the family's toothbrushes down the toilet while I was babysitting and ran nude outside.
Ran nude?
Yeah, and the neighbors called, and I got him. That was not a fine babysitting experience. Do you take this on a highway a lot, or just now?
No, yeah, first time with you.
Okay,
We thought we'd do an experiment with one of our finest senators.
So this is my elementary school. My favorite teacher was Miss Callanan, and she taught me how to speak. She would stand, in 4th grade, she would stand at the back of the class and yell out, "Speak louder, I can't hear you."
She did
She
well.
had bright red hair. I know.
She did really
I
well.
might have still been too quiet.
I went to Edina Highlands Elementary School, and I had some kind of a speech impediment where I couldn't pronounce Dracula. So they would take me from class, which was really embarrassing, and I'd have to go to speech therapy.
So did I. I couldn't say S. I couldn't say ing. I said kin instead of king.
That's exactly, boy, you know what?
Look at that.
They would give me like a Jolly Rancher or a hard candy. So I'd bring it back to class, and I'd be very obvious to the other students about what my reward. So all the rest of the class wanted to have speech impediments so they could get candy.
They could get the award.
Oh, we're getting some thumbs up. Hey! No, that was the fire chief.
My high school, that is now the middle school, I was on the student council. I was the secretary treasurer, and I led the Lifesaver Lollipop Drive to raise money for the high school prom. We made enough to have the prom at a very nice hotel. Then what happens our senior year? The juniors, as often happens after a successful administration, failed us, and they didn't raise any money, and we had to have our prom at the Ridgedale Mall, dancing around the fountain, and my date wanted to dance in the fountain, and I didn't. Yeah, and I didn't want to ruin my pink polyester prom dress and matching shawl, so I said no. And so he danced with Sally Lundeen in her lime green dress, not that I remember, in the middle, and the entire school cheered them on as I stood there. And then Dr. Summers, then the vice principal, came up in my lowest moment, maybe to date, and asked me if I wanted a ride. I needed a ride home from a chaperone because my date had abandoned me. Oh man, this is like fancy.
All right, so here we go.
Oh, of course.
I mean, we went a little old school.
Yeah.
To,
Very
to
nice.
reminisce, and then a little new school to Lindy. I think everybody likes to do it their way. Do you have a certain amount that you love?
No.
Okay, well I'm just gonna...
Because I've never eaten a root beer float outside in October.
In almost
And
November.
it's a really good concept.
When you worked at A&W, how old were you?
Man, I was just the age that you could start working. And I would do the washing of the dishes and getting the orders.
Hey, my first job at that, or about 14, I take the city bus down to Runyon's. I was a busboy, and on Sundays, Paul Runyon would put me up on a ladder and hand me a white towel and make me clean all the picture frames, about 100 of them that line the walls. And it was the first time I thought about public policy. I thought, if every 14-year-old in this country had that job, there'd be no more teenage smoking. Because what we removed from those picture frames on Sunday mornings, back when you could smoke. Exactly.
So you weren't just thinking, oh, how much am I making an hour? You're like, I'm going to think about public policy.
Yeah, that made me real popular with my friends. This is really good, by the way, if I might say so myself.
Maybe this will be a new thing, to have root beer floats outside in the cold. Oh,
a new tradition, by the way. How nice is that? Wish you'd worked at a hot cocoa stand. Would have made life a little more comfortable today.
It was good.
Hardest working senator in America, most awesome senator.
Except for this break I took
Yeah.
with the A&W. So I'll see you on election night.
Here, here.
Okay.
Onwards.
Okay. Bye. Bye.
I'm Dean Phillips.
I'm Amy Klobuchar.
And we approve this message.
That's really dorky. I don't want to do that.